So Pereybere Hotel is a three-star hotel located in Pereybere, as the name suggests, right opposite Pereybere Beach. It is officially a three-star hotel, and I stayed here, I think 5 nights. And so this is my last night before, well, I've had my last night. These are my last couple of hours here before I check out. So here's my review of the hotel. In terms of location, I think it's in a really good location. It's right opposite the beach, Pereybere, which is a very beautiful beach. It has really nice vibes used by both locals and tourists. Has a really good vibe. Pereybere is pretty quiet. There's about 5 restaurants around. There is a big supermarket and a smaller convenience store along the main coastal road. There are a few tour shops where you can book some activities, and there's a couple of street food vendors along the beach. There's one lady at the moment, and then another guy who sells like fresh fruit and vegetables. And then you also have I think a kind of another food truck which sells like kebabs and these sorts of things. But in terms of like location, I would still recommend staying here if you're considering whether to stay in Pereybere or Grand Bay. This is literally a hop and a skip away from Grand Bay, and you can get there in less than 10 minutes by I would say like 6. But you can get there by the maroon taxi or the public bus, and it's 18 rupees one way, which is very affordable. I'm not sure how much it is by like a private taxi, but the maroon taxi comes quite often, and I've actually, at this point, I haven't actually gone to Grand Bay by the public bus. I don't know how frequently it comes, but the maroon taxi is like very frequent. So I actually like the vibe of Pereybere more than Grand Bay. The beach is much nicer, and if there are other bits and activities that I want to do, or get a few other bits and pieces, or want to eat somewhere else, Grand Bay is just a hop and a skip away. And in terms of like when you're in Mauritius, I don't think there's a place on the island that has it all. If you're here for a couple of weeks, you're going to be exploring the island anyway, so you just want a nice little base that if you don't want to go anywhere and you just want to chill out, you can do that here. So at the hotel, obviously you've got the rooftop option, which is a perfect place to kind of relax, and then you've got the beautiful beach, so which you can also watch the sun set from. So I think the location is really good. I would give it 5 out of 5. Really can't beat the location. Um, in terms of facilities, for a three-star hotel, I think it's got really good facilities. Got a steam sauna room. If you want to book a massage, you can book a massage. There is a little, they don't call it a gym, which they're right not to. It's just a little room um, which has a few fitness bits and equipment in there. So if you do want to do some bits, they've got a few yoga mats. You can bring them out here and do some stretches. They've got they also offer yoga classes. So I was quite happy with the facilities. There's a lift, so all the floors are accessible by lift. If you have issues with your mobility and you need a wheelchair to go around, I'm not sure how you actually enter the hotel, so that might be one way that the facilities are lacking. There is a back entrance which is connected to the reception. However, cars often park along there, and so it's ramped, but cars park along there, so there isn't space for like a wheelchair or even a pram. And then to get into the hotel from the main road, it's revolving doors. So I think for facilities, because I think accessibility probably in this day and age, I think every hotel should be thinking about how people move around the hotel. So for that reason, I will knock off a star, and I would give the hotel for facilities 4 out of 5. In terms of the room, I was just staying in a standard room and I was really happy with it. Had really big TV, the rain shower. Um, it could do with like having a handheld shower as well, but I don't really mind the rain shower because some people don't like to stand directly underneath a rain shower. And hot water, didn't have an issue with the hot water. Wi-Fi, back to facilities, but the Wi-Fi connection was really good because working working whilst I was here, so I needed good reliable Wi-Fi connection, and I didn't have a problem with the Wi-Fi whatsoever. So back to the room, the bed was really comfortable, the pillows were comfortable, had a little sofa, and then I had a balcony which looked out into the coastal road. I mean, some people might not like having the room facing the coastal road. I didn't have an issue with it, but I know on the weekend the beach gets a little bit lively. I mean, it's not going on till late at night really, but if you're someone who likes that peace and quiet, you can hear um, you know, the drums on the beach and the music and the vibes, but that's really only on a Saturday. Um, but they do have like another set of doors that you can close before your French windows in order to block out the sound. But they have internal rooms where your balcony kind of faces the court, the kind of internal, where your balcony faces the internal courtyard. I mean, I really wouldn't want one of those rooms. I'd prefer to kind of like look out. I mean, if you're not going to use the balcony, it's not really a big deal. But the balconies are quite small, and I have a very decent sized balcony. So for the rooms, the fridge also was equipped with a mini fridge, safe, plenty of plugs. Um, most of the plugs were UK type plugs, but they did have a few European plugs there in the room as well. One thing actually with the room, in the bathroom, the hairdryer has a plug that you can plug a shaver into. So I plugged in my electric toothbrush because it uses the same plug connection as a shaver, and it didn't work in terms of charging up my toothbrush. I might have been doing something incorrectly and I didn't really report it because I had an adapter, so I just plugged my electric toothbrush into another socket. It wasn't really a big deal, so I'll knock off half a star for that, or maybe I'll knock off a whole star for that. And other than that, I didn't really have any other issues, so I'll give the rooms 4 out of 5. So cleanliness, I felt like the hotel was pretty clean. I didn't have any problems with no bugs whatsoever, no roaches whilst over here, no rodents, nothing really. Any bugs that you might see, you're probably bringing them into the room with you, like when you're going in and out of the balcony, and then coming in. But place is pretty clean. I can't fault it. Even I know in between rooms, what it appears to be doing in between like room changes or guest changes, they are using UV light to also sterilize the room as well. So they put a little sign up on the door to say this room's been guest checked out here, UV sanitized at this. So I would give the hotel 5 out of 5 for 5 out of 5 for cleanliness. For the staff were all really friendly and helpful. Yeah, even going out of their way. So tomorrow I'm going to Goodlands, and I would have even checked out the hotel by then. They gave me directions of how to get there by public transportation. They've given me lots of tips on like things to do around the area, food to try, making sure that I'm okay when they see me. Bonjour, bonsoir, hello, good evening. So, you know, I never had, you know, sometimes you stay at places, even at 5-star hotels, there's maybe one staff who might rub you up the wrong way, but not experienced that here. They've all been really helpful, really friendly. Can't fault the service, from everyone from housekeeping to front desk to the chef to all the members of staff that I've come in contact with. All been, very helpful. Ah, breakfast. So breakfast is an important thing for me when I stay at a hotel, because I tend not to book. When I book hotels, I always book breakfast in. I normally like a good buffet breakfast. So the last few years I've been traveling Asia quite a bit, and so they give very generous buffets, and mainly been staying at five-star hotels. So I'm normally not a fan of a la carte menus, because I just find them to be quite lacking for breakfast. Sometimes they tend to be like very stingy with the portions, and then stingy with like the options as well. So here I left, having breakfast feeling full every morning. There's like a variety of options. Maybe after a week it might get a bit boring after you've tried everything, because they've got enough for you to try something different every day for about 5 to 6 days, or maybe up to a week, I'm not sure, because there were a few options that I didn't have. So for example, you've got some cereal options, you've got some bread and pastry options, you've got some like waffle, pancakes, fruit options, yogurt. You've also got like hot meal option, which could be like anything from full English breakfast to toasted sandwiches to scrambled eggs, eggs Benedict, eggs Royale. And I think that's it. So I, left quite full after having breakfast each time. And I suppose, I don't know if they offered buffet breakfast before, because the setup kind of looked like there was an option for that, but I guess given the current situation that we're in, that's not economically viable. And it's probably quite wasteful when you've only got 4 guests staying at a hotel to offer buffet breakfast. It's better to just prepare what people want. So yeah, I was, thoroughly happy with the breakfast. They also offered tea and juice options as well, which you could have as much as you wanted with that. So yeah, I enjoyed the breakfast. I think the first day I was like, oh my god, I can't eat this breakfast every day, I'm gonna get really big. But then I thought, why deprive yourself? You're only at this hotel for a few nights. Just enjoy it whilst you have it, because you're going to be moving into an apartment in a few days. So you're not going to be having breakfast cooked like this for you every morning. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed having the breakfast every day. And like even today they made some variations with the breakfast for me to do, because I wanted the toasted sandwich but I also wanted scrambled eggs, so they just combined the two for me. So yeah, breakfast, for what it is, I really can't fault it. I can't think of anything that is lacking. So I would give the breakfast 5 out of 5. Yeah, I can't think of anything that was lacking. Um, there's vegetarian options, and I suppose if you've got dietary requirements, you'd need to speak to them, but I think they can make some adjustments, because they seemed quite flexible at the moment. Well, they were flexible with me. Not knowing that I was like recording my stay whilst I was here. So yeah, I don't see why managing dietary requirements would be an issue. Also on the menu it's like, please let us know if you have any dietary requirements. So Yeah, because even for the English breakfast, so I do not eat meat, but I do eat fish, so I'm a pescatarian. It came with chicken, so I just asked them to kind of substitute that for the smoked merlin. I think it's merlin or marlin, the smoked fish, which they did, and wasn't an issue actually. That was yesterday morning. So breakfast, actually nothing's lacking for me whilst I was here. So again, I would give that 5 out of 5. To be honest, I'm rating this hotel really favorably. Um, let's tally up the scores that I've given the hotel so far to see its overall rating. But I think it's going to be pretty high from everything that I've said. So to get out my phone. So I gave 5 for location. I also gave 4 for facilities. I gave 5 for cleanliness. I also gave 5 for staff, and then I gave 5 for breakfast. So overall, I give this hotel 4.8 out of 5. Pretty high rating. I do take into account that it's like a 3-star hotel. I'm not comparing it against like 5-star hotels. But you know, for what it is, where it is, the staff, the cleanliness, I'm thoroughly happy with my stay here. I would definitely recommend staying here as a good base to explore the island if you're considering staying between like Grand Bay and Pereybere. This is a good place to stay, just up the road from Grand Bay, but I prefer the vibe here. It's a bit more chilled. Beach is much nicer, and the hotel is good. So yeah, I would give this place a thumbs up. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in booking it. And if you found this video useful and you stayed to the end, do subscribe, hit that like button, and if you've got any comments, leave it below, or questions, and I'll do my best to answer about the hotel. I'll also leave like a link to a room tour down below.